If you examine the modern industrial diet, you will find it built entirely on fragile hybridized carbohydrates that require massive chemical inputs to survive. You are sold the illusion that securing enough raw calories to feed your family through a harsh winter requires acres of mechanized grain, synthetic nitrogen fertilizers, and expensive retail pesticides. The agricultural matrix has successfully completely severed you from the most resilient, hyperproductive, and biologically indestructible calorie source ever cultivated by human hands, the sweet potato. During the hardest economic collapses and agricultural failures of the last 2 centuries, the sweet potato was the ultimate biological safety net. But the ancestral knowledge of how to propagate, cure, and store this incredible plant has been systematically erased from modern gardening education. Modern garden centers want you to buy expensive seed potatoes every single spring. They want you treating your soil with chemical fungicides. They want you trapped in a consumer loop. Your ancestors understood that the sweet potato is not actually a potato at all. It is a completely different botanical weapon. It acts as a drought-proof, pest-resistant survival crop that can generate hundreds of pounds of medicine-grade, complex carbohydrates in the absolute poorest, most depleted soils on your property entirely for free. Today, we are stripping away the commercial fluff. We are unleashing a rapid-fire sequence of exactly 30 historically verified, scientifically sound secrets your grandmother knew about the sweet potato secrets that the modern agricultural industry actively wants you to forget. The multi-billion-dollar synthetic fertilizer and grocery syndicates rely entirely on your biological amnesia. They need you to forget these foundational earth sciences so you remain perpetually trapped in their subscription model of retail dependency. If you want to pull these verifiable, ancestral blueprints out of the history books and deploy them on your own land, hit that subscribe button and join the Grounded Harvest Network right now before this video is suppressed by the corporate algorithm. By subscribing, you are refusing to let centralized conglomerates gatekeep the biological tools required for true caloric independence. Secure your connection to our network now and let us dive straight into the zero-cost propagation protocol. You never plant a sweet potato directly into the ground like a standard white potato. Your ancestors knew how to exponentially multiply a single root into an entire field of food using a process called slip propagation. Number 1. The botanical reality. Sweet potatoes are not nightshades, they are members of the morning glory family Convolvulaceae. They do not grow from eyes like regular potatoes, they grow from vining clones called slips. Number 2. The suspension trick. To generate slips for free, your grandmother took a single, healthy sweet potato from the pantry, suspended it half submerged in a jar of water using toothpicks and placed it in a warm window. Number 3. The exponential yield. A single medium-sized sweet potato will aggressively sprout between 15 and 20 independent slips. Each of those slips will grow into a full plant capable of yielding 5 to 10 pounds of food. Number 4. The sand rooting method. Instead of water, ancestral growers often buried the bottom half of the seed potato in a box of damp sand near the wood stove. The sand physically mimics the earth, encouraging thicker, more resilient slip roots. Number 5. The snap and root. Once a green slip reaches 6 inches long, you do not cut it. You physically snap it off the main potato with your fingers and place the stem into a glass of shallow water. Within 5 days, it will explode with white, aquatic roots. Number 6. The horizontal trench. Never plant a sweet potato slip straight down in a deep vertical hole. You must lay the slip horizontally in a shallow trench, burying at least 3 nodes under the dirt. Every buried node will produce a cluster of massive tubers. Number 7. The temperature lock. Sweet potatoes are tropical survivors. If you plant them before the nighttime soil temperature consistently holds above 65 degrees Fahrenheit, the cold shock will permanently stunt their cellular growth for the entire season. Number 8. The endless clone cycle. Once your slips are growing vines in the garden, you can snip off the top 6 inches of any vine, stick it directly into damp soil, and it will root perfectly, doubling your crop size mid-season for $0. Think about the sheer biological leverage of that propagation cycle. You buy one single organic sweet potato from a local farmer, and you possess the genetic material to feed your family forever without ever opening your wallet again. This is exactly how the Matrix loses its power when you realize the solutions they sell you are just synthetic copies of what nature provides exponentially for free. If this realization shifts your perspective on backyard self-reliance, take 1 second right now to hit that subscribe button. When you join Grounded Harvest, you directly fund the preservation of these raw, non-industrial blueprints. Hit subscribe to stand against the manipulation, and let us transition into the ancestral rules of poor soil. The modern fertilizer industry tells you that big yields require heavy chemical feeding. The sweet potato actively punishes you for following that advice. It is a crop engineered for marginal landscapes. Number 9. The nitrogen trap. If you apply commercial nitrogen fertilizer or heavy compost to a sweet potato bed, the plant will use all that energy to grow massive, beautiful green vines above ground, leaving you with tiny, pencil-thin tubers below ground. They thrive on neglect. Number 10. The sandy advantage. Ancestral farmers deliberately planted them in their worst, sandiest, most depleted soils. Loose soil allows the tuber to expand rapidly without physical resistance, resulting in massive, perfectly shaped harvests. Number 11. The ridge system. Grandma never planted them flat on the ground. She pulled the soil up into highly elevated ridges or mounds. This traps solar heat to warm the roots and guarantees absolute drainage so the tubers never rot during heavy summer rains. Number 12. The edible canopy. Unlike white potatoes, where the leaves are highly toxic, sweet potato leaves are 100% edible. They are a deeply nutritious, spinach-like survival green that can be harvested all summer long without harming tuber production. Number 13. The rooting restriction. As the vines spread across the yard, they will try to root into the ground at every leaf node. You must walk your garden and physically lift the vines off the soil once a week. If you let them root everywhere, the plant's energy is divided, and your primary harvest will be stunted. Number 14. The drought defiance. Once the slips establish a deep taproot after the first month, they are practically immune to summer droughts. Their massive vining canopy acts as a living mulch, shading the earth and locking in subterranean moisture. Number 15. The deer decoy. Deer and rabbits will aggressively graze on the sweet potato vines. Ancestral homesteaders used this as a tactical advantage, letting wildlife eat the outer leaves while the massive tubers safely matured underground, untouched. Number 16. The frost signal. You do not guess when to harvest, you wait for the first autumn frost. The frost instantly turns the green vines black. This is the biological alarm clock telling you the tubers have stopped growing and must be dug up immediately. We have officially crossed the midpoint of this breakdown, and the protocol is clear. True agricultural sovereignty requires a conscious commitment to mastering the specific biological triggers of the earth. If you are ready to walk away from corporate retail dependency and stop fighting your soil, hit that subscribe button right now. By subscribing to Grounded Harvest, you ensure that this $0 non-industrial wisdom is passed down to the next generation of free thinkers. Tap that subscribe button to officially join our network today and let us decode the most critical chemical transformation process that modern gardeners completely ignore. If you dig a sweet potato out of the dirt and bake it that same night, it will taste like bland, starchy wood. Modern gardeners throw them away, assuming they grew a bad batch. Your grandmother knew they were missing the most vital step of the entire harvest, the cure. Number 17. The enzyme activation. Curing is a highly specific biological process that activates the amylase enzymes inside the root. These enzymes literally consume the bland starches and convert them into maltose, a rich, complex natural sugar. Number 18. The thermal requirement. To trigger this chemical conversion, the freshly dug tubers must be placed in a pitch-dark environment holding precisely 85 degrees Fahrenheit for 10 to 14 straight days. Number 19. The humidity mandate. Alongside high heat, the curing chamber requires 90% humidity. Ancestral farmers achieved this by placing the tubers in wooden crates covered in damp burlap sacks near a wood stove. Number 20. The second skin. The high heat and moisture do not just create sugar, they force the sweet potato to grow a thick, leathery secondary skin that seals over any cuts or scrapes sustained during the digging process. This healed skin is the ultimate defense against winter rot. Number 21. The no-wash rule. Never, under any circumstances, wash the dirt off a sweet potato before curing it. Water introduces fungal spores into microscopic abrasions. You simply brush the dry dirt off with your hands and cure them dirty. Number 22. The oxygen necessity. Never cure or store sweet potatoes in sealed plastic bags or airtight tubs. They are living, breathing organisms that constantly respire. Without oxygen, the carbon dioxide will build up and suffocate the tissue, causing immediate rotting. Number 23. The sugar wait. Even after the 2-week heat cure is complete, you must wait an additional 30 days before eating them. The enzyme conversion continues slowly during early storage, meaning a sweet potato eaten in January is mathematically sweeter than one eaten in November. If you have stayed with me this far, you belong to our high-retention inner circle. You are not surfing the internet for superficial entertainment. You are actively hunting for the unfiltered scientific realities required to break entirely free from the commercial system. You have successfully processed the advanced biochemistry of enzymatic starch conversion, and you have earned the final stage of this broadcast. Reward your dedication and support our work by hitting that subscribe button right now. We need disciplined, independent minds like yours anchored to our infrastructure to keep this raw earth science alive. Hit subscribe to lock in your spot within our tribe, and let us look at the ancestral rules of long-term survival storage. The true power of the sweet potato lies in its ability to sit in a dark room for a year without electricity or canning equipment, providing dense, immediate calories in the dead of winter. Number 24. The hard center syndrome. Never put a sweet potato in a modern refrigerator. Temperatures below 50 degrees Fahrenheit permanently alter the cellular structure, creating a hard, woody core in the center of the tuber that will never soften no matter how long you boil it. Number 25. The perfect climate. The ultimate storage temperature is between 55 and 60 degrees Fahrenheit. A dark, dry basement or an insulated closet floor allows a properly cured sweet potato to last up to 12 entire months. Number 26. The newspaper wrap. To ensure absolute longevity, your grandmother wrapped each individual unwashed tuber in a single sheet of newspaper before placing it in a breathable wooden basket. This isolates the potatoes. If one rots, the fungal spores cannot spread to the rest of the harvest. Number 27. The dehydrated flour. Before modern supply chains, homesteaders sliced cured sweet potatoes paper-thin, dried them in the sun or near a fire, and ground them into a highly nutritious, gluten-free baking flour that lasted for years in a glass jar. Number 28. The pressure canning vault. For absolute permanence, sweet potatoes can be cubed, packed into mason jars with boiling water and run through a pressure canner. This locks the calories away safely at room temperature for over a decade. Number 29. The medicinal starch. Ancestral communities utilized the heavy, binding starches of the sweet potato to effectively soothe inflamed digestive tracts and treat severe bouts of dysentery when modern medicine was unavailable. Number 30. The generational carryover. You never eat your entire harvest. You deliberately save the absolute ugliest, most misshapen tuber as long as it is completely disease-free and keep it in a paper bag in the pantry all winter. When spring returns, you put that ugly potato in a jar of water and the entire cycle of sovereignty begins again. We have reached the absolute end of this disclosure and the choice rests entirely with you. You can step away from this screen, return to the commercial loop, and continue paying massive grocery conglomerates for the right to eat fragile, chemically dependent food, or you can draw a definitive line in the sand today. Secure your permanent place in the Grounded Harvest Underground Network by hitting that subscribe button right now before this video concludes. Do not risk losing your connection to these unadulterated blueprints of independence. By subscribing in these final moments, you're casting a direct vote for absolute physical autonomy, decentralized food production, and real ecological literacy. Take definitive action, tap that subscribe button, and secure your position in our sovereign tribe right now. Reclaiming your status as a self-reliant producer starts the very moment you refuse to buy into the synthetic, retail industrial illusion. You do not need acres of pristine soil, and you do not need a tractor. You need a single sweet potato, a jar of water, and the discipline to follow the biological laws laid down by the generations that came before us. When you snap that first green slip off the mother tuber and watch it explode with white roots on your kitchen counter, you are entirely bypassing the commercial agricultural matrix. When you lay that vine into a shallow trench of poor, sandy soil and let it thrive without a single drop of synthetic nitrogen, you are proving that the Earth is inherently designed to provide. And when winter arrives and you pull a deeply cured, sugar-dense root from a dark basket in your pantry, you will understand exactly what true wealth looks like. The centralized food syndicates spent the last century trying to convince us that human survival is a high-cost commodity that can only be manufactured on their mechanized farms and sold back to us in shrink-wrapped plastic. They wanted us to believe that without their intervention, the land would fail us. But their narrative is a complete biological failure. The fundamental laws of the sweet potato remain unalterable, and the $0 physics of localized, high-density caloric production are waiting to be deployed by anyone who has the courage to step off the corporate grid. You hold the absolute power to break the cycle of dependency right now, with your own two hands from the soil up. Welcome to Grounded Harvest. Your agricultural sovereignty begins today.